Hey everyone, Adrian Ramos here with ProjectRamos.com. On this channel, I do tech reviews, so if you're new here, consider subscribing. Today we're going to be taking a look at a USB-C hub made by Kinpof. The particular model that was sent to me is model number KP-CP1002. It's black and it's made of aluminum alloy. This hub features two USB 3.0 ports, one SD card reader, one micro SD card reader, a 4K HDMI port, and a 100-watt pass-through charging port. This hub currently sells for $36.99 on Amazon. The link will be in the description, which is a reasonable cost for a hub that has this type of connectivity. So let's go ahead and get into the unboxing. This hub is packaged in this real nice black box. It's pretty slender, so let's go ahead and cut this open and see what we have inside. All right, first off, we have a little thank you card from Kinpof. Okay, and here's the hub. It's protected with a real nice insert here, foam insert. It's a hard foam, so it's going to keep it protected in transit. And that's pretty much it. That's all that's inside the box. So here's the hub, and it is made of aluminum, as expected. On the bottom there's a rubber piece so that when you set it down on the table, it won't slide around. The company's name is right on top there, Kinpof. So on one side we have a USB 3.0 port, the SD card reader, micro SD card reader. On this end you have another USB 3.0 port, and on this end here is the HDMI port and the pass-through charging port, so that when you have this plugged into your laptop, you won't lose your charging port. And the cable end has a little protective plastic piece there over the USB port. I'm sorry, the USB-C port. And that is pretty much it. So first thoughts on this, it feels really well built, and I really like the fact that it has the bottom rubber piece here, so that when you do have this on a desktop, it's not gonna slide around on you. And the ports are spaced out in a way where your devices aren't, well, it seems like your devices won't interfere with each other, because sometimes these USB devices might be a little bulky if it's a flash drive, and if you were to have these ports next to each other, let's say 2 or 3 USB ports next to each other, plugging in multiple items next to each other could be a problem. So it looks pretty well constructed. So I'm going to go ahead and I have a MacBook Pro 2016, so I'm going to plug that into there and test out the ports and make sure everything works. All right, we got my MacBook Pro 2016 fired up, and we've got the hub hooked up to it. So what I have here to test out is a Western Digital USB external drive, and I also have a micro SD card and the micro SD card adapter to turn it into a SD card. So let's go ahead and start with the micro SD card. Now, one thing to note here is that when you're inserting this, it actually goes upside down. So you're gonna have to put it in this orientation, pop it in. And now let's take a look at the screen and see if we have a connection to the card, and we do. There's the card right there. So everything's working perfectly there. So I'm gonna go ahead and eject that. And now we're gonna switch over to the SD card adapter. With the SD card adapter, you're going to put it in this orientation, not upside down like the micro SD. So once you pop this in, now let's check the screen and see if we have a connection. And there it is there. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and eject that. Now we're going to plug in our Western Digital hard drive. We'll first plug it into this port, And the Western Digital external drive is USB 3.0, so we can take advantage of that speed. So let's see if we have a connection, and we do. There it is there, it just popped up. Now what I want to do is take a file and transfer it onto my desktop and see how long that takes. So that's the file there. It's about 2.65 gigs. So it's a fairly large file. So I'm going to pull up my timer here and see how long it takes. So I'm going to go ahead and move this over to the desktop. And start the timer. Okay, the file is now transferring. It's actually transferring pretty fast. And let's see. Took 27 seconds, almost 28 seconds to transfer a 2.65 gigabit file. So now we're going to go from the laptop back over to the hard drive. And here we go. All right, transfer started. It's moving very quick. Let's see, it's almost done. About the same time, 29 seconds. So that's a pretty quick transfer rate there. Let's see here. I was timing that on my iPhone there. Let's see if it focuses. So that's the actual time. For this next test, what we have here is a 34-inch ultra-wide LG monitor. So let's go ahead and plug in the monitor and then see if it fires up. Okay, monitor's plugged in. Let's see. And the monitor's on. So you can tell it powered up the display, and looks like we have a very sharp image here. That's plugged into the Kinpof USB-C HDMI port, and it's being powered by a 2016 MacBook Pro. So it's working as expected. One thing to note though is that it seems like this USB-C hub is a little temperamental as far as how you unplug the monitor. So what it wants you to do, or what you should do, is first power down the monitor, then unplug the cable. Because if you just unplug the cable while the monitor's on, then when you plug it back into the hub, for whatever reason, it doesn't turn back on. So just make sure you power down your monitor, then unplug the cable. Next, we're going to test out the charging port and make sure that that's working. So let's go ahead and plug that in. All right, looks like we have a working charging port. No issues there. All right, that's going to complete my review of the Kinpof USB-C hub. And just my final thoughts on this. I do like the construction of it. The fact that it's made of aluminum alloy has a real nice feel to it. And it has this rubber piece at the bottom so that when you do set this down on a table, it's not going to slide around. So that's a plus. And I think you're getting pretty good value for the cost. At I believe it's $36.99 on Amazon. The fact that you're getting two USB 3.0 ports that do have very good data transfer rates. You're going to get the HDMI port. You're going to get the not just the SD slot, but the micro SD slot as well. And then the pass-through charging port rated at 100 watts. I think you're getting pretty good value for your money there. In comparison you know, you have the Apple adapters, which this adapter in particular has one USB port, one HDMI, and one charging pass-through port, and that's all you get with this guy. And these, I believe, are more expensive. I'm not sure the exact cost of these, but I know they're a little more pricey than what this is. So overall, I think you won't be disappointed with it. As far as any cons with this USB-C hub, I would have to say it's the HDMI port. I think it's a little weird that you have to turn off the monitor first before you unplug it, so that way when you plug it back in, the display will come back on. So what was happening to me is if I didn't turn off the display and I just unplugged it and plugged it back in, it wouldn't turn, or the image wouldn't transfer over. It would just show that there's no signal. So I'm not really sure what's going on with that, but I found that, you know, just by simply turning the monitor off, then unplugging, and then at that point you can plug it back in and everything's fine. So overall, I do think that you get pretty good value for the $36, $36.99 that this is going for. I would definitely give this a try. And again, it's the Kinpof USB-C hub. All right, that's gonna do it for me on this review. Don't forget to subscribe, like the video if you found some value in this. And also in the description, I'm gonna link the Amazon link to this product. And I'm also gonna have a couple other USB-C hubs for you to check out that are highly rated on Amazon. Until the next video, I will see you guys later.